Deep in the heart of Africa, where the sun blazed with an intensity that could be felt in every breath, and the land stretched out like a lion's mane, lay a remote corner of Ethiopia, a place untouched by the rush of modern life. This was the southwest, a tapestry woven from grasslands, acacia trees, and winding rivers that carved their way through the landscape. Here, life moved at a different pace, dictated by the rhythms of nature, where the rising and setting sun marked the passage of time. Tribes lived off the land, their traditions passed down through generations, each one a thread in the rich fabric of their culture, some ancient and beautiful, others harsh and unforgiving, reflecting the duality of their existence. This tale emerges from this world, a world where danger lurked in the shadows and courage roared in the face of adversity, where every day was a battle for survival. It's a story that seems ripped from the pages of fiction, a testament to the unpredictable nature of life itself, filled with moments of both despair and hope. But this is no fable. It's a real-life account of survival against all odds, a narrative that defies belief yet is grounded in reality. This is the story of a young girl, a group of kidnappers, and an unlikely band of protectors, 3 wild lions whose actions would forever change the course of her life. In this remote corner of Ethiopia, the practice of abduction for marriage, though illegal, cast a dark shadow. Young girls, some barely teenagers, were often snatched from their families, their dreams shattered by the brutal tradition. It was a practice that had no place in the modern world, yet it persisted, fueled by archaic beliefs and a disregard for human life. 12-year-old 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐻 was one such girl. Her life, simple yet happy, revolved around her family, their small hut, and the familiar rhythms of their daily routine. But one fateful afternoon, her world was turned upside down. Walking home from a neighboring village, she was ambushed, her cries for help swallowed by the vast expanse of the savannah. Her abductors, 4 men driven by greed and a sense of entitlement, took her captive, their eyes glinting with cruel intent. Panic surged through 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐻 as the men dragged her away from the familiar path. They were rough, their voices harsh and unfamiliar. She struggled against their grip, her small frame no match for their strength. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through her, amplifying the isolation of her surroundings. The men took her to a makeshift camp, hidden deep within the bush. Bound and gagged, she was at their mercy, her pleas for release falling on deaf ears. They spoke of a forced marriage, of a bride price that would line their pockets. Each word felt like a brand, searing her skin, marking her as their possession. 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐻, however, was not one to give up hope. Even in the face of such terror, she clung to the belief that somehow she would be reunited with her family. Days bled into nights, each one a torment, stretching endlessly as if time itself had conspired against her. The men kept 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐻 tied to a tree, their laughter a cruel counterpoint to her silent tears, mocking her pain and suffering. The sun beat down mercilessly, its scorching rays intensifying her agony, while hunger gnawed at her stomach, a constant reminder of her dire situation. She was given scraps to eat, not enough to satisfy, but enough to keep her alive, prolonging her suffering and keeping hope just out of reach. Her spirit, however, refused to be broken. Despite the torment, she held on to a fierce determination to survive. She drew strength from her memories, from the love of her family, and from the faint hope that someone, somehow, would hear her silent cries. The thought of reuniting with her loved ones kept her going. Each night as darkness descended, 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐻 listened to the sounds of the savannah. The chirping of crickets, a symphony of life that contrasted with her own despair, the distant howl of a jackal, a haunting melody that echoed her loneliness, the rustling of leaves in the wind, whispering secrets of survival and resilience, all served as a reminder that she was not alone. The vast savannah, with its myriad sounds and creatures, was a silent witness to her plight. Nature in all its wildness surrounded her, offering a strange comfort in her darkest hour. It was as if the very essence of the savannah was urging her to hold on. Little did she know that nature itself was about to play a pivotal role in her destiny. intertwining her fate with the wild in ways she could never have imagined. Unbeknownst to 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐻 and her captors, a group of lions had been observing the camp. 3 of them, a large male with a thick mane and 2 females, were no strangers to the area. They were the apex predators, rulers of their domain, their presence both revered and feared. The lions, with their keen senses, had picked up on the scent of humans, but it was the girl's fear, her raw terror, that truly caught their attention. They watched from a distance, their amber eyes glinting in the fading light. Something about the situation, the imbalance of power, the palpable fear emanating from the girl, stirred something primal within them. The lions had never interfered with human affairs before. They roamed the vast savannah, living by the laws of nature, untouched by the complexities of human life. They had their own territory, their own hierarchy, their own intricate social structure. Each lion knew its place, and the pride functioned like a well-oiled machine, with every member playing a crucial role. Yet, as they observed the girl day after day, her obvious distress resonating with their own instincts to protect their young, they felt a shift within themselves. The girl's plight stirred something deep within the pride, a sense of empathy that was both foreign and compelling. Then, one afternoon, the men crossed a line. They ventured too close to the lion's territory, their presence an unwelcome intrusion in the wild. Frustrated by the girl's silence, by her refusal to accept her fate, one of them struck her, a sharp blow that echoed through the stillness of the afternoon. The sound of the strike was a jarring note in the natural symphony of the savannah. That was the tipping point. The lions, who had been mere observers until now, felt a surge of protective instinct. The pride could no longer stand by and watch. The male lion, as if on cue, let out a thunderous roar, a sound that shook the ground and sent a shiver down the spines of the kidnappers. It was a roar that carried the weight of the wild, a primal warning that could not be ignored. It was a sound that spoke of a power that dwarfed their own, a power that commanded respect and instilled fear. The men, realizing the gravity of their mistake, felt the true force of nature's intervention. The men, taken aback by the suddenness of the roar, scrambled to their feet, their bravado evaporating in the face of such primal fury. They had never encountered lions so close to their camp before, and the sight of the 3 majestic creatures emerging from the tall grass sent shivers down their spines. The lions, led by the alpha male, advanced slowly, their movements a study in controlled power. They circled the camp, their eyes never leaving the men. The message was clear. Back off. This is our territory, and this girl is now under our protection. It was a standoff, a clash of wills between man and beast, and for the first time in her life, 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐻 dared to believe that she might actually survive this ordeal. The lions kept their vigil throughout the night, their presence a silent but potent threat to the abductors. The men, too terrified to make a run for it, huddled together, their earlier arrogance replaced by a raw, primal fear. As dawn broke, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold, a search party arrived. Alerted by villagers who had witnessed the abduction, the police, accompanied by a group of men from 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐻's village, had been combing the area for days. The sight that greeted them stopped them in their tracks. There, in the middle of the clearing, was 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐻, surrounded by 3 lions. The lions, upon seeing the search party, slowly retreated, their job done, their message delivered. The reunion between 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐻 and her family was one of tears, relief, and overwhelming joy. She was safe, miraculously unharmed, thanks to the intervention of the most unlikely of saviors. The news of her rescue spread like wildfire, and soon people from surrounding villages flocked to see the girl who had been protected by lions. 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐻, forever changed by her experience, carried the memory of the lion's protection deep within her heart. She knew that she had been given a second chance, a gift from the wild. Her story, a testament to the interconnectedness of all living things, served as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope, courage, and even the unexpected kindness of strangers can pave the path to survival. The story of 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐻 and the lion sparked a conversation that extended far beyond the borders of her small village. It highlighted the plight of young girls forced into early marriages, igniting a debate that raged across the country. The government, shamed by the incident, pledged to crack down on the practice to bring the perpetrators to justice. But perhaps the most profound impact of 𝐴𝐸𝐻𝐻's story was its effect on the way people viewed wildlife conservation. The lions, once feared as dangerous predators, were now hailed as heroes, their actions forcing people to acknowledge the crucial role they played in the delicate balance of the ecosystem. 𝐴𝐸𝐻𝐻's story became a powerful symbol of the unexpected ways in which humans and animals can interact, and the urgent need to protect these magnificent creatures, not just for their sake, but for our own.